Hello my lovelies, welcome to your full strawberry moon yoga class. So if you've never done a class with me before, my name is Natasha, also known as Nurse Natasha on all platforms. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for doing my class. I appreciate it more than you know. If you've been here before, hi again, welcome. I teach classes that are as inclusive as possible for all bodies, all levels friendly. The biggest thing to remember about my classes is everything I say is an option, not an order, so you do what works best for you and your body. Have the props that you need, so we will be using blocks in the class for today. So a block, you can use a book that's like the general shape and size of a block if you don't have a block. Use a strap if you need one. If you don't have a strap, you can use a towel or a blanket, bolster, pillow. Whatever it is that you need for your practice, I want you to have with you. I will offer variations for pretty much every pose for all bodies and all levels. So yeah, let's get into it. What's this full moon all about? So the full strawberry moon is going to be in Capricorn. It is called the strawberry moon because of the season, so it isn't going to be like the blood moon where it was a lunar eclipse and it kind of looked red in the sky. It's just going to be, you know, a normal colored full moon. But it is going to be a super moon, so it's going to look pretty big. And again, it's just called a strawberry moon because of the season, and usually this is when you harvest strawberries, so hence the name. And it is in Capricorn. So Capricorn is an earth sign. I've been seeing, you know, a lot of people, because we've had some pretty intense full moons the past few months. It's been like just so much emotion and eclipses and retrogrades, and we're still kind of in retrograde season, but Mercury retrograde is over. As of, I believe, the 23rd, we still have a couple other retrogrades, I believe Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. But Mercury retrograde's over, so that's good. Eclipse season is over. And this is going to be the first full moon that isn't, you know, doesn't like rock you to your core, you know what I mean? So I keep seeing these posts like, when is it going to end? Like all these crazy moons. And this moon, while it is going to be a super moon, it is going to be intense. It's going to be a different kind of energy. So Capricorn, again, is an earth sign. It's about grounding. It's about coming back down to earth after all this crazy stuff we've just gone through. It is also in Cancer season, so the first day of Cancer season was this week. We're in Cancer season, so yes, there is, you know, kind of a feeling of heightened emotions, but this is the time to be aware of your emotions. Yes, the full moon is going to bring these kind of feelings to the surface, but being in Capricorn, it's encouraging us to come back down to earth. So how do we do that? We're going to do some grounding yoga in the body. Capricorn rules the skeleton system, and that is quite literally the foundation of your body. You know, everything is kind of built atop this skeleton. And in yoga, the chakra that is ruled by Capricorn is the root chakra. So again, it is the foundation chakra, the chakra of stability. It's the base. It is at the base of our spine. So again, it's all about this foundation, this strong base, having stability. Yeah, so, sorry, I'm just reading my notes. I always have a lot to say just because I know you guys always are curious about the astrology of everything. So if you remember from the past full moons, the eclipses that we've had, it was all about coming to this new path. The eclipse season was literally a portal to this new path. We released a lot of stuff. We let go of the stuff that doesn't serve us. You know, we were on that path and we kind of cleared the brush away. And now we're seeing this clear path. This full supermoon in Capricorn is about building your new foundation on this path. So whatever your goals are, whatever you're trying to, this path is taking you to, it's your time now to build a strong foundation. So when you feel these maybe heightened emotions of Cancer season coming up, the heightened emotions of the supermoon, you have a foundation. You're steady, you're stable. You've built this base to build your life, to build your path, to build your goals on. So if you'd like to journal, I would recommend kind of journaling on, well, what is the foundation here to what I'm building? What does this strong base mean for me? It's getting grounded, mind, body, and soul. And yeah, we just love grounding energy. I'm a Pisces, so we tend to be very not on earth, just like in our thoughts. And you know, Cancer season, just very you know, we go with the flow, and we're kind of in our dreams and just all up here in space, and we're like, Capricorn's like, nah guys, come back down to earth, come back down to earth. So that is the theme, intention, affirmation mantra of this class. Come back down to earth, and I'm building a stable foundation. So I am building a stable foundation. I will come back down to earth. I will get grounded, I am grounded. Whatever affirmation sounds good for you, you can pick one, you can make up your own. But yeah, all right, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started now that I've ranted at you. All right, so we are gonna get started in child's pose. A sip of water. Is very dry and hot here in Las Vegas, so don't mind me drinking a bunch of water. So we're going to get started in child's pose. Now, we are going to be holding this child's pose for a bit. And I know for those of us that have maybe a big belly, big thighs, big boobs, it's like, oh, child's pose, ugh. But don't worry, I got you. So option here to lay on a bolster or a blanket. And we're going to take a wide-legged child's pose. So we're going to make room for all that goodness by bringing our knees wide, about as wide as your mat, sinking your hips back down to your heels, and then finding your child's pose. Now again, you can place a blanket, bolster, pillow underneath you if you maybe need a little bit more cushion or maybe need a lift. And I want you to find your child's pose, so where you feel good, you feel like you could hold this pose for a little bit, because child's pose is the ultimate grounding. We're going to get real grounded here. We're going to come back down to earth. And once you're in this child's pose, I just want you to settle in. Close your eyes if it feels good for you. Start to bring your awareness to your breath. And just noticing your inhales and exhales as they go in and out through your nose. And just use your breath to check in here. Take inventory of the mind, the body, the soul. Notice what's coming up for you, any blockages, tensions, constraints. These can be physical, emotional, or mental, or spiritual. We've had a lot of stuff happen these past few months. We've had retrogrades, we've had eclipses, we've had some major changes. We've let stuff go. We've been placed on this new path. And as you breathe here, I want you to acknowledge those constraints, maybe fears that are coming up for you. I want you to acknowledge them and practice non-judgment, non-attachment. Know that we're going to work through them and just let them go. Don't attach yourselves to them or feel guilty or ashamed. We're human. We all have those feelings. I want you to bring it back to this grounding energy. So when you feel those fears, those constraints, those limiting beliefs, those mental blockages, ground yourself. Remind yourself of what's real, what you can touch. Come back to the present. Ground yourself in the present. So as you breathe here, I want you to notice every part of you that's touching the mat. Every part of you that's touching the ground. Maybe lift up all 10 fingers and then slowly release them back down one by one on the mat. Notice your fingers, your hands, your arms, maybe your forehead or your chin, your chest or your belly, your knees, your shins, the tops of your feet are all touching the ground right now. Feel yourself sink deeper into the earth, into your mat. Remind yourself, I am grounded. I'm building a stable foundation for my goals, my dreams, my purpose. I'm going to come back down to earth when I feel those lofty emotions of fear or scarcity or limiting beliefs. I'm going to come back down to earth. I'm going to ground myself. You can seal that with a breath. So take a really big inhale in through the nose. Take up space, fill up the chest, fill up the belly. And open mouth, exhale. Now from here you can inhale here at center, and then exhale, you're just going to walk your hands over to the right, finding a side stretch here in your child's pose. Still staying grounded down to the mat. Feeling that expansion from left rib cage to left hip, and breathing into that space. Go ahead and inhale back through center. And exhale, walk those hands over to the left. Now feeling that expansion in the right side body. From right rib cage to right hip. Breathing into that space you just created. And inhale here, exhale, come back through center, finding that center child's pose again. And maybe just try to sink your hips a little bit deeper down towards your heels, just for a moment. Feel that grounding energy. And then when you're ready, you're gonna gently inhale up to a tabletop. Take your time with it. And once you're in this tabletop, I just want you to find some movement. So kind of maybe take some waves with your spine. Rock your hips from side to side. Maybe shake out your head if it feels good. And again, just notice all parts of you that are on the earth. Your palms, your fingers, tops of your feet, maybe your shins or your knees. And just feel the stability underneath you. Feel how supported you are. And go ahead and come to stillness. We'll go into a cat-cow here. So go ahead and inhale, lift the chin, open up the chest, arching the back. Exhale, round the spine, dumb out the shoulders, drop chin and chest. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. And do 5 more of these on your own breath, taking any movements that feel good. Just remember to link your breath to your movement. And if you're going to take any side-to-side motions or circles, just remember to even out your sides. Take your time with it. Do what feels good. Listen to your body. And go ahead and finish up the last round that you're on. And then come back to a neutral spine. And we're going to go for a little balancing exercise here. It's going to warm the core up because guess what? What another grounding exercise, an exercise for the root chakra is just movement, getting sweaty. It brings you back down into your body. It brings you back down to earth. So we're just going to warm up a little bit here. Now this balancing exercise, we're going to do it from our tabletop position. Now you have options here. It's going to be the right arm and the left leg that extend. Now this maybe doesn't feel comfortable, too much pressure on the knee. You can lower one or the other, so maybe just do the leg or just do the arm. Again, listen to your body. What feels good for you? You can also double up your mat or put a pillow or a blanket under that knee if that's too much pressure on the knee. So find where you're going to go. Right arm, left foot, either or both. Making sure you keep active toes and active fingers. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, you're going to try to bring your elbow to your knee, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, squeeze. And go ahead and release, shake it out. All right, we got the other side here. So again, left hand, left arm, and right leg extending. Again, you can do both or either or. Find what feels comfortable with your body, with your balance. And when you're there, we're gonna inhale to lengthen. Exhale, try to bring that elbow to your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. think we need one more on this side. Inhale. And exhale. I lost my count. And go ahead and release. Shake it out for a moment. Now feel that warmth in your body. Acknowledge how it feels. See how movement and maybe raising your heart rate a little bit, warming up the body, it just brings you back down to earth. It brings you back down into your body. And we can get really lofty and kind of stuck in our fears or our dreams or our limiting beliefs. We gotta come back down to earth. All right, we're gonna find our first downward facing dog of class. You can tuck those toes and inhale your hips up and back to the wall behind you. You can keep a micro bend to your knees if you need it, and maybe step your feet a little bit wider for you to make space for that belly. You can find some movement here, pedaling out the feet, shaking the hips, maybe shaking the head, making sure you're pressing those palms strong into the mat. And go ahead and find stillness. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat, and exhale, travel to the top of your mat. So that can look like a bunch of small steps up. That can look like one big step up. Maybe stepping a little wider again to make room for that belly. And finding ourselves in a forward fold. So in this forward fold, this is our first forward fold of class. I want you to find movement. Maybe grab for opposite elbows, sway from side to side. Maybe bounce a little bit, release that low back. Now go ahead and find stillness. Bring your hands to your shins. Press into them. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Now here in your Tadasana mountain pose, this is like the grounding pose. I want you to stand here in power, so maybe close your eyes if it feels good. You can either bring your hands to either side of you, really active fingers, or leave your hands at your heart, whatever feels good for you. And I want you to, again, if you're comfortable, close your eyes and kind of feel how your body just has this natural sway when you're here. And now take a moment to engage that core, to kind of feel those hands get active and engage that body, those muscles. Feel how you're not like swaying as much now. We're finding that stable foundation. You're pressing your feet into the mat. Maybe lift up all 10 toes and then bring them back down one by one and feel the mat, the ground underneath your toes, underneath your feet. This is our base. It is stable, it is strong. It's going to help us get to our goals, what we want to do. We gotta just have that stable foundation. Take a big inhale in through the nose. And open mouth, exhale. All right. We're going to flow through a little half sun salute here, incorporating a chair pose. Now for chair pose, I like to take my big toes together to touch with a sliver of space in between my heels, but you might like yours hips distance apart. You do what works best for you and your body, so find that stance for your chair pose. And then on the inhale, we're going to lift our arms up overhead. And exhale, we're going to sink into that chair, so bending the knees, sticking that booty in a chair. We're not arching the booty out. We're tucking, so we have a nice straight spine, but we're sitting in a chair. You can still see your big toes over your knees. Now you can leave your arms extended overhead or hands at heart center. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more just like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink into your chair. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. We got 1 more, my lovelies. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink to that chair, maybe a little bit lower this time. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1, exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now I want you to plant your hands and gently just step back, either to a plank or a downward dog. And wherever you're at, we're all just going to gently lower to the knees and then down to the belly. Take your time. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Now again, just take a moment here. Maybe squeeze the mat with your fingertips. Feel all parts of you. Your whole front body is on the mat. Feel this grounding energy. And then we're going to flow through some low cobra. So hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press palms into the mat for your halfway lift. Lift the chest, the head, the shoulders. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up one more time. And exhale, release. Now on your next inhale, you can gently press up to a tabletop position. And then exhale, we're going to find our downward facing dog. So lift those hips up, creating an upside down V with your body. And then inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. And exhale, travel to the top of your mat, however you'd like to get there. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment. Maybe again, lift up all 10 toes. And then bring them back down. Bring it back to your breath. Coming back down to earth. Reminding yourself, you're building a stable foundation. You are grounded. Big inhale in through the nose. And open mouth, exhale. All right, my lovelies. We're going to play around with some warrior poses here. Warriors are great, powerful grounding poses. So we're going to start from standing. Now you have the option to take these from vinyasa if you like, if that's in your practice, but I'm going to cue them from standing. So we're going to start at the top of our mat. You can bring your hands to your hips. And we're going to start with a warrior 1. On the right side, so I'm putting all my weight into my right foot. I'm going to step my left foot back, about a leg's distance apart, maybe a little shorter. My right knee is going to be over my ankle. My back leg is straight, back foot's at a 45-degree angle. And what I'm really going to try to do here is center, square off my torso to the front of my mat. We're closed hips here, and you're going to find this power in your stance, and then you're going to inhale those arms up, keeping that chest, that torso center to the front of your mat. Maybe gaze up towards those fingers. Feel the power here again. Maybe wiggle your toes on the mat. Feel the base. These powerful poses always have a powerful base. Don't forget to breathe. Now take a big inhale, and exhale, you're going to step right back to the top of your mat. Shake it on out, and we got the other side. So now I'm putting all my weight into my left foot, so I can step the right foot back. Again, right foot's flat, leg is straight, foot is at a 45-degree angle. I'm squaring off my hips as best as I can, but most importantly, my torso to the front of the mat. I'm finding this stable foundation, and then inhaling my arms up overhead. I'm feeling my feet on the mat, keeping my knee over my ankle, maybe wiggling my toes, feeling this strong base and breathing. Big inhale, and exhale, step back to the top of the mat, shake it on out. Now we're going to do another little half sun salute, just to kind of find some flow in these poses. So inhale those arms up, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing, and exhale, hands to heart. Take a big inhale in, and open mouth, exhale. All right, so same thing. We're just gonna add on a little bit. So from standing, again, you can do this from a vinyasa if that's in your practice. I'm standing at the top of my mat. I'm putting my weight into my right foot. I'm stepping my left foot back into that warrior one. Again, I'm finding my stable base, and then I'm coming to lift my arms overhead, finding this warrior one, this powerful pose, feeling the ground, the mat beneath my feet. Now I'm going to take a big inhale, and then exhale, I'm going to open up to a warrior two. So you might need to widen your stance just a little bit. You're going from a closed hip to an open hip. Your back foot is now coming parallel to the short edge of your mat. Right foot stays the same. Knee is still over ankle. Find your stable foundation, your stable base, and then bring your arms up. Gazing over those front fingertips. Notice if your shoulders are shrugged up to your ears, and exhale, release them. Make sure that right knee is staying over the ankle. Breathe. Feel the mat beneath your toes. Take an inhale here, and exhale, step back to the top of your mat. Shake it on out. All right, let's take it to the other side. From standing, I'm putting my weight into my left foot, and I'm stepping back into my warrior one, squaring off my torso, my hips to the front of the mat, finding my stable base here. And then inhaling my arms up. Breathing here. Feeling the power in this pose, the power in my foundation. Taking a big inhale and exhale, opening up the hips, maybe widening my stance just a bit. Finding this foundation in my warrior two. And lifting my arms up, gazing over my front fingers, keeping my knee over my ankle, feeling this power, feeling my feet on the mat. Big inhale here, and exhale, step back to the top of your mat, shake it on out. All right, again, we're gonna break that up with a little half sun, so a little half flow here. Go ahead and inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment here in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Do close your eyes if it's comfortable. Lift up all 10 toes. And release them back down to the mat. I am grounded. I'm building a stable foundation, a strong foundation. I'm going to come back down to earth. All right, my lovelies. You can open your eyes. Now, grab your blocks here, because we might need them for these next few poses. I'm going to put them to face the long edge of my mat. Now we're going to find a wide-legged stance here, facing the long edge of your mat. So I'm coming to this wide-legged stance. Doesn't matter how wide you can bring your legs, what's comfortable for you. We're gonna inhale our arms up, and exhale, go ahead and fold over those legs. Now do what feels good here. Maybe find some movement so you can bend into one knee and then into the other. Maybe you want to grab for your ankles. Maybe you want to reach in between, behind your legs, into those hamstrings a bit. Just do what feels good here. Again, feeling those feet on the mat is the only thing touching the mat, and yet we still have a stable foundation, a stable base. Now when you're ready, bring your hands to your hips. You can bend into your knees. Inhale, come back on up. Now what I want you to do is turn out your feet a little bit, about towards a 45-degree angle. And we're gonna do a goddess pose here. We're gonna do a little goddess to star flow. Again, just see at the heart rate, get a little A little sweaty here. Tap into that root chakra energy. So I want you to inhale those arms up, and you're going to extend the arms straight out, really active fingers. This is our star pose. Inhale, and exhale, find your goddess squat. So you're bending into the knees are over ankles, finding this goddess squat here. Inhale to your star. Exhale, goddess. You can find different mudras with the hands if you'd like. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale for that goddess. Inhale, star last time. Exhale for goddess. Sink it on down here. All right, now you can drop your hands to your thighs, still in this squat. We're just gonna stretch out our hips and our shoulders a little bit. So I want you to press into this right hand, pressing the right shoulder down. Inhale, center. Now left side. Inhale, center, right side. One more time. And inhale, center. Exhale, left side. Inhale, center, and then exhale, go ahead and fold. You can straighten out the legs, bring those feet back to front facing, finding your wide-legged fold again. Shake it out a little bit here. And then when you're ready, bringing hands to hips, you can bend into the knees a bit, and then inhale, come all the way up. All right. Now we're gonna go for some side lunges here and a malasana squat, and this is where our blocks are gonna come in. So if you're like, hey, I maybe got a knee injury, my knees just aren't too strong, I have a knee injury on my right side, totally feel you. I want you to take your blocks, and you're just gonna bend into that right knee, just like this. You're gonna use your blocks to support you. Your knee is coming over your ankle. You're straightening that left leg. This is option 1. Option 2 is a deep side lunge where you bend all the way in and down. Your right foot should stay flat. Left toes point. Now you can use your blocks here still, or bring your hands to your heart. And again, if this is uncomfortable, stay elevated, use your blocks. Breathing here. Now we're gonna inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, take it to the other side. So again, maybe you're just bending into that left leg, keeping the left knee over the ankle, straightening the right leg and using those blocks here. Or maybe you're gonna bring it all the way down. Finding this side lunge, finding your balance. Pointing those right toes and breathing. Gently inhale, come back to center, come back to that wide-legged fold, and shake it out. Now we're going to do a malasana squat here. So again, variations. Option 1, you're taking your blocks, you're bending into your knees, lifting the chest, and hanging out here. Knees stay over ankles. Option 2, take one block. You're gonna bring your feet in a little bit more. Toes are going out at a 45-degree angle. Lowering the hips and sitting right on that block. Take a seat on your block. Option 3, getting rid of that block and finding your malasana squat. Those are all options here for you. Do what feels best for you and your body. Finding your malasana that works for you. And when you're there, I want you to just kind of relax into it. Maybe close your eyes if you feel comfortable. You can use those elbows to kind of press the thighs away, open up the hips. And again, maybe lift up all 10 toes and bring them back down. Breathing here. Go ahead and bring your hands down to the mat or to your blocks. And then exhale, just straighten those legs into that wide-legged fold. Shake it out. Bring your hands to your hips, bend into the knees. Inhale, lift on up. And exhale, release. Feeling kind of loosey-goosey in the hips now. We're going to come back to standing at the top of our mat. Just to get us back down to the mat, we're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, and just step back to a downward facing dog just for a moment. And then lower your knees, widen them as wide as the mat. And we're finding that wide-legged child's pose again. So just sink down into your mat. Again, maybe you want to lay on a pillow, bolster, blanket here. Sink into this child's pose, into this grounding energy. I'm going to grab some water. And I want you to breathe here. Breathe into this child's pose. Feel every part of you that is on the mat. Maybe lift up all 10 fingers and then release them back down to the mat. Remind yourself, I'm building a stable foundation. I'm grounded. I'm coming back down to earth. Take a big inhale in through the nose and open mouth, exhale. When you're ready, you can gently lift up from your child's pose. We're going to take a seat on our butts. And go ahead, move those blocks out of the way. I'm taking a seat on my butt. You might need to scooch some of that goodness out from underneath you so you can truly feel your sit bones on the mat. As true grounding energy when you can feel both of those sit bones on your mat. We're going to take some folds here. So first we're going to do a seated head to knee pose. So extending the right leg. It can also come, it doesn't have to be straight out. It can come a little bit out to the side. Bending the left knee. So the left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. I want you to square yourself over that right leg. Inhale for a straight spine. And exhale to fold. Now this is called head to knee pose. Because the idea is that you're supposed to bring your head to your knee, but don't worry if you can't. You can also use a strap here. Wrap that strap around your foot and pull yourself down. And remember that flexibility isn't a dictator of worth. You're not doing the yoga pose wrong because you're not flexible. Yoga is not for the flexible, it's for the willing. And wherever you're at is absolutely perfect. Then that stretch in the hamstring, the low back, the hips. And again, feeling every part of you that is on the mat. Go ahead and inhale, gently come on up. Exhale, switching out the legs. So left leg extends now, right knee bends, right foot coming into left thigh, squaring yourself over that left leg. Inhale for a straight spine, and exhale, fold. Again, you can use your strap here if that feels good. Your worth is also not measured by if you can touch your toes or not. You guys remember, I think this is an American thing, but we had to do those like presidential fitness tests in like elementary, middle school, and high school. And they put you in this box and they made you like press this thing to see if you could touch your toes. And at that point, I was definitely not flexible. I hated it so much. I don't know, I'm having flashbacks of that. They used to measure our worth based on these ridiculous fitness tests. And that's not right. Go ahead and inhale, come back on up. Now we're going to extend both legs out. Now you can keep your legs a little wider if you need to make room for your belly. We're just going to take a nice seated forward fold here. So inhale, straight spine, and exhale, fold. And again, you can use your strap here if that feels good. Yeah, that test was like they put a box over your legs. You had to push this thing and see if you could like push it. Really, it was ridiculous. I don't know if it was just an American thing, but your worth is not based on your flexibility, my friends. Maybe inhale, lengthen the spine a little bit, and exhale, fold a little deeper. And go ahead and inhale, come on up. Now we're gonna find our way to our backs and take it nice and slow, just gently releasing down to your mat. Take your time, listen to your body. Now we're gonna find a bridge pose, a little series of bridge poses. Now option here to take a supported bridge. You can place a block underneath your hips and just hang out there. Or option to flow with me through a few bridge poses. So bending at the knees, feet bottoms on the ground. Scoot your heels up as close up to your butt as you can get them. Hands, palms facing down on the earth for that grounding energy. And you're gonna inhale, press those hips up. Maybe shimmy your shoulders underneath you if you want a little bit of a heart opener. Pressing the hips, the pelvis up towards the sky. Finding this bridge pose. Inhale, press them up a little bit more, and exhale, release one vertebrae at a time. You can windshield wiper out the legs here. We got two more just like that, or again, you can just hold a supported bridge here. All right, next one, coming back to stillness and inhaling those hips up, maybe shimmying those shoulders underneath you. Don't get a little heart opener. Palms pressing down into the mat. Don't forget your breath. Inhale, press it up a little bit higher, and exhale, release one vertebrae at a time. Shake it out, windshield wiper out the legs. All right, we got one more, my darlings. Coming back to stillness. And inhale, press those hips up. Holding it here, trying to make sure your knees aren't splaying out to the side. Breathing. And again, maybe you can lift up all 10 toes here and place them back down on the mat. Inhale, press the hips up just a little bit more. And exhale, go ahead and release. Windshield wiper out the legs. And come back to stillness. Now you can bring your arms out to a T position. Bring the knees into the chest. Inhale here and exhale. Go ahead and find a twist. So bringing those knees over to the right. Maybe gazing over the left shoulder. Keeping that left shoulder on the mat. A little release here. Don't forget your breath. Inhale, gently come back to center, and then exhale, drop the knees now over to the left. Again, maybe gazing over the right shoulder, trying to keep that right shoulder on the mat. Breathing into this twist. And inhale, gently come on back to center. Now, if there's any final pose that your body is asking for, I want you to go there. So maybe you're like, hey, I need a little inversion, do a shoulder stand, maybe a happy baby, maybe a big good morning stretch on your mat, so extending the arms and legs. That always feels good. Doing what feels right for you and your body here. And then we're going to find our Savasana. So for your Savasana, I want you to take up as much space as you need on your mat, remembering to always take up space. I want you to have your palms facing down to get that grounding energy. Now, if you're like me and you have a big old booty, I kind of have to bend my knees for a second and tuck my butt under so my low back touches the mat, and then extend my legs out and try to keep that low back tucked so there isn't a gap between your low back and the floor. You can also Bend the knees and maybe put a bolster under your legs if you're really struggling with that low back. But I get it, if you have big old booty, you get that little pelvic tilt. And finding your way to your Savasana, taking up your space, palms on the ground, reminding yourself that you are grounded. You can come back down to earth and build that stable foundation. You can close your eyes if it feels good, and we're just going to breathe here in this Savasana. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. You can start to bring your awareness back into your space and back into your body. You can maybe wiggle the toes or wiggle the fingers. You can roll out the wrists or roll out the ankles. And when you're ready, bend those knees and pull them into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, maybe rock from side to side. Just massage out that low back. And then dropping over to one side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Finding a fetal pose here. Gently, when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a seat. Any seat that you are comfortable in. Keeping your eyes closed if it's comfortable for you. Bringing your hands to either side of you, feeling the mat beneath your fingertips. Inhaling those arms up, taking all that wonderful grounding energy we just created. Exhale, bring them back down, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, draw those palms together to touch and bring them to your heart center. The light, the love, the grounding in me honors the light, the love, the grounding in you. We bow to our practice. Thank you. That is all I have for you today, my lovelies. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget that Nourish Your Life registration, my group coaching program, is open. This is the last round of Nourish Your Life, so if you'd wanted to work with me through yoga, through magic, through body acceptance, chakras, self-love, goals, purpose, finding your path, limiting beliefs, mindful eating, mindful movement, all of these things and more. If you want a community of people on the same journey and you want coaching from me, group coaching calls, all of that, Nourish Your Life is there for you. You do get a free tarot card pull and my free self-love survival kit mini course just for applying. So fill out an application. I can't wait to read them. I can't wait to see you there. Yeah. Otherwise, I will see you for the new moon. I'm going to try again to be putting out new classes every week. There was just like a lot of astrological events that happened in the past few weeks, so I just ooh, bless me. But yeah, I'm going to, if there's a request that you'd like to see for a certain class, focus on maybe a certain body part, or have yoga classes for anxiety, self-love, all that jazz. If there's anything you'd like to see, please let me know. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I think that is all I got, my lovelies. I hope you have a wonderful strawberry moon, and I'll see you next time.